Do you need some fresh inspiration to build your next website project or to level up your skills? Well, in this series, I review beautiful websites for your inspiration, and today we're going to get some
e-commerce candy.
Hello, I'm your host Kaycinho. I'm a digital alchemist, and today I want to welcome you to episode number 3 of Website Inspiration with Kaycinho, a series, as the name mentions, that I hope will inspire you to up your game and create beautiful websites, whether for your own project or if you create websites for a living. Now, in today's episode, we're going to take a look at a gorgeous website that I stumbled upon and saved in my note-taking app. So these are websites that come from my own research, but if you come across beautiful websites, just let me know in the comments and I'll pick and review the best ones. Now, one very important point is that this series is about inspiration, it's not about stealing other people's work. So give credit where it's due and be ready also that people get inspired by your work. But the way I understand inspiration is that I would get inspired from a lot of different sources: website design, graphic design, paintings, pictures, movies, and the nature itself. And then I blend it all together, put it on a giant mood board, try to get a feel for what I'm trying to achieve. Then I will add my own touch to it. So I encourage you to follow this series with that spirit in mind. So today we're going to get some e-commerce inspiration with this website Prequel. And actually it's a WordPress theme. So if you've seen my video about the 10 best resources for website design inspiration, I was showing you, of course, website design galleries, but also one of the resources was Envato Marketplace. Marketplaces in general, actually, but I specifically reviewed the Theme Forest Marketplace. Now, personally, usually I don't really buy themes on Theme Forest because most of the time I like to create my own designs. And when I can do that, I will use either Astra Pro and Elementor Pro, or I will use the Divi theme with its Divi builder. So usually I use one of those combos. But it can happen that sometimes a customer comes with a specific brief that they want to use that theme, or maybe they don't have a specific brief, but for the budget they have, you cannot really work from scratch because it would cost a lot more. So sometimes you need to use themes that are already made and that really fit the project. So if you're lucky enough to find a theme that's not only nice but well coded with good support and that really matches the project, then in those situations you may want to purchase ready-made themes. You know, there are many beautiful themes out there, and this one, when I saw it, I didn't even know it was a theme demo first. You know, I was like, man, this is really nice. And then, of course, after 10 seconds, I noticed it was the demo for a theme. And I mean, I want to make this clear that this is not about ripping off someone's work and just copying and stealing his work. It's just about finding inspiration. You know, I love minimal design, and I'm always looking for those little parts of a design, you know, that would really enhance one of my projects. And I like to see a lot of different website design, then make a giant mood board, you know, get a feel for it. And when I saw this website, I mean, this page from the first page, I knew, yeah, this is something I'm going to love right away. And it was the case. And the amount of work that the developer or developers have put into this theme is amazing. I mean, the demo itself, just to prepare this video, I had to go through more than 80 pages. And I think there's more than 100 pages because I went through all the pages here in the navigation, and they have sub pages. And then the only part I didn't do is that part, you know, with the specific elements, because those elements are on the other pages. So today we're not going to review the 80 pages, of course, but I'm just going to show you the elements that personally I love about this website. So let's dive in. Well, first of all, it's very clean, it's very minimal, but it's straight to the point. The typography is beautiful. And if you know me a little bit by now, if you've already seen the other episodes, then you know that's really something I'm looking for in a design. You know, it feels really like you can breathe. You know, you land on this page and you can just focus on the products. You know, And that's the point when you have an e-commerce website. So let's move to some of the pages that are already open, because one thing that's annoying on this demo is each and every time you open a page, there's this nasty pop-up that asks you to put in your email. It's a newsletter pop-up box, and of course, I guess it was made by the developers to show you that it's a possibility, not that you have to do it on each and every page. So here on this page, what do I love? Everything. But what I really like is the text here behind. I guess behind the shoes. I guess it's an image. I like the bold title because you can really focus and you can spot right away. Okay, is this for me or not? And then you can move on to the next page. New arrival. Okay, of course, the pictures of the products are really professional, but to me, that's the minimum. I kind of like the icons that they're using on this theme. And when I first landed here at the bottom of the page, that's when I noticed that there was some navigation here on the left-hand side. So if you click on it, it's a panel where you have more items. And right off the bat, I didn't notice it. And I kind of don't like that when I don't notice navigation right away, because usually people will look for the navigation on the right hand side, in the middle, and now more and more you find some navigation here on the top left. But I'm really not familiar with navigation here in the middle. Now I don't mind, I like trying new stuff, but obviously if you're in for an e-commerce website, okay, you can innovate, but what you want is to sell some products. So depending on your target market, if your target market is not going to notice that the navigation is right there on the left hand side in the middle, then that might not be the best place to put it. But here it's a secondary navigation, so it's not as important. And of course, then once you've noticed that, you notice the email icon here, the newsletter. Okay, see, in my opinion, it was just a way to contact the owners of the website. Actually, it's the newsletter. And then you have the search, you can access your account, and you have the cart. Once again, usually the cart and all these elements are on the right hand side. So once again, you have to check with your target market demographics and see if that's going to be a problem or not. So that was for the things that, in my opinion, could be improved. But it's just my opinion. Now, for the other things I love, let's move on to the next page. So here we have some parallax and multi-layer parallax, and it's I don't know how many times I'm going to say that, but yes, it's really nice. I mean, in this series, I review nice websites, so you're going to hear that a lot. It's so nice, it's so beautiful. But that's why we love website design inspiration, don't we? So I like the text here. It's something very trendy. You can actually replicate that with many page builders. So either you have an image in the background, then you would have a layer here with the two ladies, and you have the text on top. Or, for example, with Elementor, if you use third-party add-ons, I think it's Jetrix from CrocoBlock, then they have what they call satellites. So yeah, here it's an image because I can move it around. Yeah, it's an image. But with that plugin I'm telling you about, you can actually use actual text in the background. You can rotate it. You can do a lot of stuff with it. So, but all in all, people don't care. It's just visually what they see. It's really nice. It's modern, and it adds a subtle level of interactivity on the page. So here they're using video. And yeah, one thing I didn't mention about this theme is they're using Visual Composer, and personally, I don't feel comfortable with Visual Composer. So I wish there was a version of Prequel with Elementor. Maybe it's coming down the road. I don't know. But that's just personal preference, of course. You're entirely allowed to like Visual Composer. Okay, so very nice in full width design. everything is balanced on this website. The fonts, the colors, and it seems to be well optimized, you know. Okay, now we have another page with bold images. Here, maybe it's a bit too much, you know, when you see that, but it's also because of the products. Because if instead of watches you had, I don't know, iPhones or Samsung Galaxy phones or um, iMacs or whatever. I mean, depending on the product, it might be okay. Okay, so here we have a page that use some various level of interactivity. Here you have the text moving in the background. It's nice, but on an e-commerce website, I wouldn't use that too much, especially not on pages where you want people to make a decision because it's disturbing in my opinion. But on a showcase page, you know, yeah, definitely. Then when you move, you have also some subtle parallax here. Okay, so let's move to the next page. I like that also. I mean, here I'm just scrolling with the mouse, or in my case with the trackpad. And it's really nice when you want to focus on a product. You have a new product launch. I mean, it's just beautiful. You can focus on the product, and right off the bat, it gives a really good impression to the people visiting your website. Now, of course, the pictures must be top notch. Now, this kind of page is also very interesting. They have a Ken Burns effect where slowly but surely the picture is zooming in. So the quality of the picture play, of course, a lot in the perception that you have of a website. And here it's just well balanced, really nice. There's a slight color overlay so that the text can be read, whatever the picture is. And of course, it always looks better when you have some copy space. So a tip, quick tip, if you use photo stock galleries, you will type, for example, a woman with glasses, and then you type copy space. And it's going to give you this type of pictures. Because copy space is really a space that's really neutral behind where you can put some text, and it has a lot more impact than, say, this picture, for example. So this picture is nice. I like it, but I don't know what you think, but in my opinion, when I say this is really focused. I mean, the picture is very beautiful on the left hand side, and you have the text, it's really clear. Maybe I would have made the call to action, you know, a bit more classical so they can see big, bold, or at least a complete rectangle. But whatever you choose, the important thing is the copy, is that you can read the copy and then you take an action. Okay, so the next page, it's also, for example, you want to present a new collection. So you have a picture here on the left, and you have the products on the right hand side. This is something I love, and I've talked about it before, actually at the beginning of this video. It's the text that you have in the background, really trendy, something I tend to use a lot these days, because not only is it trendy, but it really adds some design without overcharging or overwhelming your page. I mean, sometimes we try to do design with too many graphical elements, and here just having this bold text behind, you know, really dimmed and subtle, is a design in itself. So I kind of like that. I'm not too fond of all caps for sub headlines, but that's just personal. And here I really like the overlay on the video. So I don't know if it was on the video itself, but my guess is that it was not. It's just an overlay that's inside the theme, so that when you add any video, the call to action button can be read, whatever the background is. Once again, beautiful typography, lots of white space, and that's really nice because then you can focus on the copy and focus on the call to action button. Here we have also a very trendy design with non-symmetrical design. So I don't know if you're watching this because you're a web designer or a web developer or someone that wants to start a web studio, or maybe you're just looking for ideas for your own website. So whatever you do, whether you do it yourself or you're going to pay someone to do it, you can definitely point them to these kind of pages. It's really trendy to have non-symmetrical design and to have text overlapping different sections, whereas previously the trend was to have everything neat in its own space. So the text would be here on the right hand side, the image on the left hand side. I still like that design actually, but I kind of like the new trend also. Not all of it, but I mean more and more you get used to it and you can find nice ways to use it depending on the project. Okay, here we have a gallery. Once again, non-symmetrical gallery, so still part of the trend. We still have the big bold text dimmed in the background, so you kind of get the idea now. And that's the pop-up I was talking about. Let's move on to the next page. Here we have some pricing plans. Simple, nice, effective, with a subtle animation when you hover over each plan. Maybe I wouldn't have put a slider with logos here, because if I'm trying to focus and read, and then I have stuff moving all around, you know, I wouldn't have done that, or maybe I would have put it lower. These kind of sections, that's what I was talking about previously. You just had one image, reading it in its own space, and then the text in its own space also. Here it's a bit different because it's a tab layout. All in all, I still use these kind of designs. It really helps to separate content on your page and make it really easy for the person viewing the page to scan, go through it, and see what's in it for them or not. Here we have a toggle sections or accordion section, and it's very consistent with the rest of the design. Same thing, I wouldn't put moving stuff when you want people to focus on what they're trying to read, but that's just my opinion. I could see this 1,000 times and say 1,000 times that I love it. So I just love it. Now, talking about the contact page itself, when you're serving a client that has several shops, I like this kind of presentation. It's to the point, it's clean. I guess you could put a link so that people can open it and see a map if there is no map, but the map is here on the bottom. Now, the thing is with the maps, I don't know if you heard, I guess you do. Google Maps have changed their pricing, so if you're a small website, there's no problem because you should still be in the free limit. But if you have a lot of traffic on the website, then either you need to have a budget for it now, because it's getting quite expensive, or you need to find alternatives. But also one other alternative is to create a map. I mean, you go on Google Map, make a screenshot, then make it black and white. Just put the map there with pins on most page builders. There are some possibilities to put pins on an image, and then when people click on it, you open a new tab directly in Google Maps. So that could be one of the techniques. Okay, so here we have the map on top. That's a maintenance page, very original, very classy. So if you want to stay consistent with all your design, and if you have beautiful design, then you should take care of the little details like the maintenance page and the 404 page. Now the blog, nothing fancy about the blog, but it's nice. You have some ad space there if you want it. It's clean, lots of white space. Here you have a different design with no sidebar. So the sidebar really depends. Most people use it for ads, but ad is not always really relevant and important on your website, depending on the traffic you have and what impact it's going to have. I mean, if it's most of your revenue, then yes, it's important. But if it's just, I don't know, 5% of your revenue and it makes your website ugly and slow, then you may want to consider getting rid of ads, or maybe putting the ads at the bottom, or it really depends. Each website, each project is different. So that's a single post page once you open the post. And yeah, I like the way they use vertical images here, but for the rest, classical to the point. I love this kind of post. I mean, it's a feature product post, and you can put the add to cart button within the post, but it adds a complete different layer of not interactivity, but usually the product pages are all the same, so it makes it really, really different. Now, I would like to see if it converts better, but I'm pretty sure that for some products, it could really have a use. Not for all products, but some products where you need to have more information, more visual details, because you can really touch the product and you really want to see what's going on. Or for example, you need to use a 360 degrees view or this kind of feature, then it may be really nice. This one is more classical, but I would say almost boring. But I'm really being picky here because the page is really nice. One thing that I don't like too much and didn't talk about yet is the three levels here. So we have navigation, then we have some e-commerce elements or USPs, free shipping and returns, ship to store, and fast delivery. Then we have the breadcrumbs and the title. And to me, that's a bit too much. Once again, personal preference. Okay, shop category list. That's a classical shop. That's a classical product. Really nice, although it's classical, but really well executed. I like this kind of pages because you see you have you can scroll down and see the images, but the add to cart section is sticky. So you see that more and more. It really has a use. It's also nice to have that kind of interactivity, but it's really functional also because people can really watch the images, but the add to cart button is always there to make it easier if they want to decide to purchase. Okay, so here's a product page with a wide picture. I'll let you make up your own mind about it. And that's a custom product page. So once again, same pictures we saw earlier. You see how clean and neat the text is and how well it's communicated right off the bat when you land on the page. And then yeah, you have the add to cart, and you can really have highlights on the product. Now here we have a product page with a video, so it's very pretty, but once again, when you're at that stage, maybe you don't want people to go watch a video or be disturbed by what they see on the video because you want them to focus on the product and on the add to cart button because um, your goal is to convert at that point. Track your order, clean, like the rest of the website. Now you have different layouts for the shop page, 3 columns wide, 4 columns narrow or regular. I kind of like this one, you have 4 columns, but it's wide. And once again, it depends on the pictures. There's lots of white space here on the pictures, so it's okay. It's nice. Now, if you have pictures with a lot of elements, it may not look so nice. I also like this one, 6 columns wide. And then we have a lookbook. And I like the way it's laid out with no spaces. Once again, it's a matter of personal preference. Now let's end this review with the mobile version. Just like the rest of the website, very clean experience. So let's open the navigation. Feels almost like an app. Now, of course, this is a demo. There's a lot of stuff going on. But I really like how they how to make the mobile version. You don't feel like you're on a poor version of the desktop website, and that's going to be less and less the case nowadays, but it still exists, so it's nice to see this type of mobile experience. Maybe I would use a bit more padding on the edges, but that's just me. Now for the products, really well laid out. See, one thing I hate when I'm on a mobile is when I have those tiny pictures, even on a mobile, you know. And here they make really good use of the width of the mobile. Then we have the lookbook. Nothing special here, but just like the rest of this website, everything is well executed. So we covered a lot of ground on this website, and once again, if you're looking exactly for this type of design, then just go and purchase the theme. I mean, the developers have put so much work into it. I mean, it's insane. So congratulations to them. Now, as I said, personally, I don't feel comfortable with Visual Composer, but if you've already worked with Visual Composer, or if it's not a concern for you, then the best way you can show the developers that you like what they've done, if you need this kind of design for a project, is to go and purchase the theme. So I hope you enjoyed this tour of Prequel, and that closes today's episode. So I hope that this video gave you some inspiration for your next project and that you found some value in it. Now, I'd like to know, what did you personally like or dislike about this website, and do you have other beautiful websites to share? Let me know in the comments, and by the way, you can find the companion blog post on my website, and I've put a direct link in the description of this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, as it really helps growing this channel. And if you know someone that could benefit from it, please share it now, because let's face it, there are so many things to do in a day that if you don't do it now, you'll probably forget. Now, if you want to brand, market, and grow your business in the digital age, then make sure you subscribe and smash the notification bell so that you never miss your share of digital alchemy. And if you're interested in tips, tools, services, and case studies that can help you grow your business online, then make sure you subscribe to my email newsletter on my website at kaycinho.com/newsletter. So I hope to see you in the next video, but in the meantime, do you know what time it is? I think you do. It's time to invest
in your success.